said it's a girl, and they said she's 6 pounds 9 ounces, and then they showed her to me, and I looked at her, and I was looking at Arthur, and I looked over at her, and I said, that's not Addison.
First day, Kiana was kind of out of it, so I didn't want to come up with anything while she was out of it. And the second day, we just, nothing came. Third day came, fourth day came.
We were looking up everything.
We spent like all our time. If the baby was like asleep, we did not sleep. We spent our time like looking up names, reading names.
We was being creative. We was like, what about?
We were trying to create names. Kiartha, we were actually contemplating it. Ariana, combining our names. But all in all, we were like, man, we can't do it, Our
parents was making us so mad. We was like, fine, we're gonna take all three of our mothers and put the names together. Cause you know how people like put their names together. Like if your daddy's name is Paula, your mama's name is Paula, and your dad's name is Dan, your name is like Paula Dan. Paula Dan McCray. So we were like, okay, fine, we're gonna take all three of our parents' names. We was messing with our moms, cause they were the ones tripping. So we were like, okay, because my stepmom's name was Paulette, my mom's name is Sharon, and his mom's name is Carol. So we were like, we're going to name her Shakarolette.
She didn't like that. The baby didn't like that.
Shakarolette McCray, after all three of your grandmothers. Get up. When you're pregnant, it's like you kind of, like when you're pregnant, you kind of like, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and it's gonna be like this and it's gonna be like that, and I like this name and this is cute and this is fly and this is cool. But then when she actually came, it's like everything was like real, and it's like it wasn't about being cute or being fly or you just wanted to do like everything had to be perfect, because I just felt like she was perfect. I was like, she's perfect. I'm not gonna give her some random name. Like it has to be a perfect name. For a perfect baby. That's it.
We left the hospital without a name, and we thought a name would come the first week at home. The name still didn't come. We started praying and fasting. And
well, let me just say this. I'm gonna be honest. Arthur did, because it got to a point where I was like, give my baby a name. I can't keep calling her Tutu. God, what's her name? Yeah. And then she doesn't care. I could be across the room. I could call her all types of things. She doesn't care.
I was reading a journal entry that I wrote months ago when I was writing about the baby. And one of it had just written on the side of it, Luke 2. Luke 2. So I went and I looked it up, and it just happened to be the story of Jesus in front of the story of, behind the story of John. And when I was reading it, that's when Mary and Joseph took Jesus to the temple, and there was a prophet named Simeon who wanted to see the Messiah before he passed away. And when I read it, I instantly remembered when I read that story beforehand, and I knew while I was reading about Simeon that there was a second prophet, a prophetess, and I started to cry because I knew whatever that prophetess name was, that was my child's name. So I read on, and then I found out her name was Anna, and I just started to weep and pray and thank God. And later on that night, I told Kiana, and she fell asleep while I was telling her.
So that's our Anna.
Yeah.
Anna.
How many days did it take us to get going? What's your name, baby?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, look, she's smiling. It was 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks, mommy.
21 days. We just didn't know your name. You already had a name. You fell asleep while I was telling you. And it seemed like kind of too good to be true. Because there was like a lot of pressure for us.
So see why you were telling me the story?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had just given birth. Yeah.
That happens often.
I had just given birth and I hadn't been asleep in a while, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. She likes playing that trump card.